What's up, guys? Mambo Mike here, sitting in the garden. It's the middle of April in New York, the boogie down Bronx. Just going to talk about weeds and pests, right? Natural ways to deter pests and weeds. That was one of the questions from one of my viewers. And so the first thing is, if you catch it early in the season, if you plan well, then later on in the season you're going to have a lot less work. So for starters, when you plant stuff, make sure that you intersperse different plants so that you can look up companion planting. It's an organic method. So for example, if you have a bunch of cabbage and you tend to get cabbage flies, you don't want to plant one whole patch of nothing but cabbage, because if one little fly gets on one cabbage, it's going to spread to all of them. So what you want to do is you want to make sure you spread them out. In between, you want to plant other types of plants that are not cabbage, and what that'll do is that'll confuse the insects that like the cabbage. And also you want plants that will deter insects. A lot of them have fragrances like lavender, marigold, and lemongrass, and there's you can look up all the different plants that you can use that certain insects don't like. And also you want to plant other plants and flowers that attract beneficial insects, and these are the insects that will help deter or eat the bad insects. So if you do that, you're going to have much less of a bug problem. And if you do, occasionally, and you can look up recipes online for how to make different types of insect repellents that you can use. I've made recipes that they had ingredients such as garlic, oil, some I think might have had mint in it, pepper. There's a whole variety of edible materials that you can add to this insecticide, and you can make onions, and you make this juice that you could spray on the plants, and it's not toxic. But the plants don't, the insects don't like it. So you can give that a try if you still have problems. But the main thing is that you plant your crops in a way that you don't have all the plants right next to each other, and if one of them gets infected, you can infect the whole crop. All right. As far as weeds, you want to make sure that you keep the ground covered. So if the dirt is bare, that's nature's way of trying to protect it. Think of the earth as like skin. It doesn't like to be bare. It likes to be covered up. So if you're not growing something useful in that patch of soil, then you want to make sure that you cover it up with mulch, wood chips, or some other method to keep the earth from getting exposed. And if you do have weeds, make sure that you pluck them out when they're small. If you wait till they get big and they get rooted and then they get seeds, then you're going to have a much bigger problem. It's going to keep on proliferating. So that's one very important thing, is to get them early. And also, you don't want to dig up the soil. When you till soil, you're basically sowing in all the weed seeds. So everybody thinks you should dig up the soil and loosen it. You don't want to do that. You want to keep the soil loose by not compacting it. So once you have it set up, you leave it alone. Keep it well mulched. Don't dig. And if you get little weeds, pull them out early. The other thing is you plant your crops or your flowers or whatever very close together. So by doing that, you're crowding out the plants that you don't want. So you want all your plants very, very tightly spaced as much as you can, and don't leave too many gaps. Alright, so those are the quick tips for today. I'll be doing some videos on how to mulch and what seeds to plant and things like that in the future, but that's just for now, right? Thanks for watching.